big update. Actually kind of funny in the YSL trial, basically the Young Thug trial out of Atlanta, Georgia. Hotland, as the kids say. Young Thug entered a plea himself. He pled out to 2 RICO charges. He pled out no contest to RICO and being a leader of a street gang and gang activity. And then he pled guilty to a couple of gun and drug-related offenses. He was given probation with a massive suspended sentence hanging over his head. 3 other of his co-defendants pled out a couple, then they all got some sort of prison time that they're all serving, and they're all getting out on pretty decent offers. So that leaves Shannon Stillwell and Yak Gotti are the only 2 left. And those are represented by the attorneys Max Shart and Doug Weinstein. If you guys haven't seen, it's basically them against the state. Although it's interesting, the prosecutor's office down there in Fulton County have changed up that they now have different faces in there in charge of the prosecution. It's almost like they realize they need to send the adults in to go take over. So now everybody's gone. And it's a smaller trial room. But this week there was a very, very, very funny interaction with the court from one of the jurors. This is absolutely hilarious what happened. And here you go. This is just worth listening to, chat. Here we go.
So I have an email from one of the jurors this morning. Interestingly, he sent 2 different drafts of it. The first says, it's to my assistant. When you have a moment, please relay this to the judge. Good morning, Judge Whitaker. I am requesting to be removed from the current case due to the length of this trial and how the state has handled this case. I can no longer be unbiased towards any decisions moving forward. Yesterday provided a glimpse of how the state presented its evidence, and I foresee another 3 to 6 months with the remaining defendants. Thanks. But then that's not what he really meant to send, because he said, I didn't mean to send this version, not the other one, with a minor correction. Hope all is well. When you have a moment, can you relay this email to the judge? Good morning, Judge Whitaker. I am requesting to be removed from the current case due to the length of this trial and how the state has handled this case. I will be biased towards any decisions moving forward. Yesterday provided a glimpse of how the state presented its evidence, and I foresee another 3 to 6 months with the remaining defendants. Thanks. Now, this is the same juror who a few months back asked to be removed from the case and provided no reason whatsoever. And so I just ignored it. I just said, no, you're not removed. Doesn't work that way. And so I think this is just a ploy to get off of a case that he's sick of being on because it's taking up his time. Obviously, we can have him out and privately, not with the other jurors around.
But there you go. The jurors are absolutely done. This guy is trying to be honest here, too. He's giving a real reason. Judge, look, I think the government's full of shit. I can't be fair and impartial anymore, which I think that's good. I want you to be very heavily slanted towards the defense. You should always be heavily slanted towards the defense. You should be ready to not trust the state on their word. But here we go. There's going to be more to this, and I think it's yeah, here we go.
Ask whatever questions we want of him. Willing to hear what anybody has to say about it.
I mean, look at Doug Weinstein, Yak Gotti's attorney. He's got a big old shit-eating grin. So would I. That indicates all the jurors hate this. And they hate the prosecutor. That's good news.
I don't know from the court's perspective if this would be appropriate, but I would have no objection to informing this juror that it might not be 3 to 6 months. And I think it might not be 3 to 6 months or whatever he said. And I think that is accurate and honest at this point.
I mean, I think it would be fair to say we have no expectation that it'll be another 3 to 6 months.
He said that he's biased
Towards any decisions, whatever that means.
right, but he said it, but he specifically talked about the state and how the state is cleaning up its case. So therefore, the state would have some concern with the juror not being able to remain fair and impartial, given what his language was. He didn't say to either side. He said specifically to the state.
Once again, the state is complaining. Well, he's not being fair and impartial. You are not entitled to a fair and impartial jury. Only one party is entitled to a fair and impartial jury. That's the defendant. The state is not entitled to a fair and impartial jury. If the state brings in 100 jurors and they all say, nope, I don't believe you, fuck the state. Oh, well, that's how it goes. Yes, they must suffer. So I think it's hilarious they're complaining about that. And they're still not done crying, chat. They're still not done crying. There's still more. Oh, there's still more. Here we go.
No, he didn't. He said, I will be biased towards any decisions moving forward. Yesterday provided a glimpse of how the state presented its evidence, and I foresee another 3 to 6 months with the remaining defendants. And frankly, you have to start a case unbiased, but as you listen to the evidence, as long as you don't deliberate with anybody, you can mold the evidence in your own mind. And frankly, if y'all are presenting the case in a way that is driving a juror crazy, that's on you.
And that's true as well. He's allowed to come up with a decision. He's allowed to make up his mind. That's your fault.
It appears that his thought at this point is that and maybe that's what we need to ask him, whether or not he still be fair and impartial. Watch everything outside of the presence.
I mean, I certainly think that would be appropriate.
They're not happy. This would be an oh shit moment for me as a prosecutor. I would go to them with deals again at this point. Although both these guys have said they're not taking deals, so
I'm looking for some kind of the general language that we give about needing to decide the case based on the evidence. So once I find that, we'll get him out and y'all can ask whatever questions you want.
okay, so you guys have a bunch of questions. We're going to get to these. Nick Kreuzer says, could the jury send it in early, we're done, mistrial or not, or try us? No, because that would be a mistrial immediately. The jury can't do that. They can't be deliberating. So, yeah, that would be a mistrial. Dirk Diggler is correct. Yes, the jury has not been sequestered, so they're, going home every day. Because, they tried to do sequestration for OJ, and that was 9 months. So, no, they can't. Sequestering the jury has never been a good idea. Benjamin Lewis says, Sean, do we have the right to tell the judge this? Is this guy okay? He's not going to get held in contempt or anything like that because this is a really long trial, guys. This is really long. I mean, this has been almost 2 years now. This has been going on. So, yeah, no, this guy voicing his issues to the court, that's actually what you're supposed to do. If you're on a jury, the judge will tell you, if you have problems, come to us. Talk to us. Let us know. Because, for example, if you were on a jury and a reporter came up to you and started harassing you, you would go to the court and send them an email or call them and say, hey, this happened to me. So, no, that's perfectly fine. It makes sense. That's not an issue. And the way he said it was pretty respectable. Don't go in there and just start, swearing in your email or going, LOL about stuff or, attaching cat memes to it. But there's nothing wrong with saying, Judge, here's where I don't think that's a bad one. I don't think that's problematic, especially because it helps the defendants here. But yes, you do have the right to notify the court. You're allowed to ask them questions. And if they can answer them, they'll tell you. And, as she stated, she will discuss with counsel when they get contacted by the jurors. Now, like I said, if you go in there and say, I'm not voting for these N-words, Judge, and, all that, don't do that. Don't do that. You probably will get held in contempt. Just don't be a dumbass. Don't be a dumbass. It's very easy.